changed the world.
Hello, and welcome back to Hitman 3 and the Elusive Target Arcades. And today's arcade, the Epicures. This starts off in Paris. And our first target today in Paris is Gabriel Santos, and our stipulation for this particular arcade is we're not allowed to eliminate any of our targets with poison. So, right from the start and off the bat, we are going to run straight past our target and all the way through the basement to the main entrance stairwell where we have our Eggmatic gas grenade stored up. Now, our target will vary his route quite often, so he doesn't take the same route twice. Basically, he'll take different routes to the same places, but in different order. So once we get to the top of the stairs, we're going to grab our briefcase, remove our gas grenade from the briefcase, and then return it to the briefcase. We're going to select our detonator, and we're going to make our way to the rear of the fashion show, and just round by the toilets here on our right we will find a small kitchen area, and we're just going to wait here now for our target. Now, he could be along any moment. He may already be here, or he may be a few minutes time. For me, I was waiting about a minute or so. But eventually he will come into this room. Everyone will give him a nice bit of space, and we can then get in nice and close, trigger our gas grenade, and that will make him sick. And he will then go on to the bathrooms across the corridor, and we can then render him very much unalive. So he's going to make his way out across the corridor. His entourage will start to follow at some point, but they don't come into the bathroom. Just make sure you close the door before we drown our target in the toilet for an accident kill.
Target eliminated. The money has been wired to your account.
So, target 1 taken care of. We're going to run right back to the entrance for the nearest safe exit. You could really head down for the wine cellar if you so wished. It's just that this entrance was in a straight line. So, level 1 taken care of, not too tricky. And we're going to move on now to level 2, where things may get a little bit more explosive. So, moving on to level 2, and we are in Bangkok to take care of Mr. Say When. So, for level 2, we will be starting undercover as the hotel security, and the only item we need to be bringing with us will be our silenced pistol. So, right from the start and off the bat, we are gonna give the security room and the shed a nice wide berth as we enter into the far end of the shed and retrieve a propane cylinder. We're then gonna head through the double white doors opposite the shed and into the hotel, and we're gonna make our way around to the lounge area, which is kind of on the first floor. So we're going to go around to the left of reception, giving the receptionist a nice wide berth, and just at the top of the stairs here we will locate our target. So we're just going to take our propane cylinder and we're going to place it just on the corner of the table there, and we are then going to make our way outside, and we're going to take a couple of shots at our cylinder. So we're just going to head back down the stairs and out into the front of the hotel here and around to our right, and we're just going to stand by this window over here. You can see the propane cylinder up on the balcony there. So we're just going to wait for an opportune moment. Now this is a rather public area, so we need to pick our 2 shots very carefully. So we're just going to wait for the waiter and the customer to both leave. No one else appears to be in the immediate vicinity, so we're just going to line up and take our first shot at the propane cylinder. So there we go. So that's going to cause a little bit of panic inside, and we're just going to put away our gun, and we're just going to wait for everybody to go back to their usual routine, and then make sure that the waiter has left, which he is just doing now. So once the guard moves away and no one is walking along behind us, we can shoot the propane cylinder once again.
Target eliminated. The money has been wired to your account.
So that's 2 targets taken care of. We're gonna make our way to the pier exit before anyone suspects us of any crimes. And we are going to sail away and off into level 3. So, moving on to our final level, and we are in Dartmoor, and as usual we cannot poison our targets, in this case 2 of them. So, as we did with the previous level, I think we'll go for a couple of explosion kills. So for our final mission, we will be starting undercover as a guard in the staff room. We're going to have a Seeker 1 stored up in the changing room next door, and we're going to be bringing with us our silenced pistol, some coins, and our ever trusty lockpick. So, right from the start and off the bat, we're just going to wait for that enforcer to be engrossed in his phone before we bolt for the door on our right, and we're going to make our way down the corridor behind the enforcer maid and around to the far side of the building, going around the entrance hall, and we're going to go into the bathroom just on our left here. And in here we will find a bar of soap on the counter, and we're going to throw that bar of soap just underneath the window there, and then we're going to hide in the closet provided. Now that's going to attract the attention of one of the 2 guards outside the side door, and when he comes in to investigate, we can then jump out of our box, get behind our victim, render him unconscious. We're going to hide his body in the closet provided, and then we're going to proceed to take his outfit so that we can move around a lot more freely. So once we have all of that done, we're going to make our way back towards the kitchens and into the changing rooms where our Seeker 1 is currently stored up. So we're just going to go into the changing room, grab our Seeker 1, make our way back outside and around to the kitchen doors, and just outside of the kitchen we will find an enforcer maid. We're going to shoot her with the Seeker 1 Make You Sick dart gun. She's going to go off to the changing rooms to be sick, and we are going to collect a propane cylinder from the kitchen and place it just in the hallway outside between the kitchen and the dining room. We're then going to retrieve the second propane cylinder, and we're going to follow the maid into the changing room. So we're just going to close the doors behind us, render her unconscious. That just keeps her out of our way later on. We're going to hide her body in the canvas crate provided, retrieve our propane cylinder, and we're going to make our way now up the stairs to our first target, who is the embalmer. When we get onto the stairs, there is a patrolling enforcer here, and he's stood right where we need to be, so we do need to wait for him to make his way past us. And once he does that, we can then make our way up the rest of the stairs around to our left. We're going to lockpick the door directly in front of us, leading us into one of the bedrooms. And in this bedroom, at the back of the room, we will find a secret entrance into the lawyer's office, and this is where our next kill box will be. So in this room we have 2 guards plus our target and his personal bodyguard frequent this room. Now the target isn't currently around, so we're going to open the door to the lawyer's office, throw either a coin or your propane cylinder in the far corner of the room, and when the first guard comes in to investigate, we can render him unconscious, deposit him in the box, and we can now move on to his colleague. And we're going to make our way into the office, and over by the windows select our coins and throw one into the opposite corner of the room. That's going to attract the attention of the guard and get him away from the wall. And when he goes in for that coin, we can then render him unconscious and place him in the crate. But if you're watching the mini-map, our target is about to arrive. There he is. So he's going to be in the room with his personal bodyguard for a moment or two. He's going to wander around and make a phone call, drink his beer, and we're going to wait for him to vacate the room. Does mean we're going to have to wait for him to loop all the way around again. He doesn't always come straight into this room. Sometimes he goes for a meeting with our other target. So once he has vacated, we can now attempt our coin trick on the guard once again. So standing by the window, throw a coin to the opposite side of the room. When the guard goes in to investigate, this time round we can render him unconscious. We're going to hide his body in the crate provided. We're going to have our coins back. Money is tight, there is a recession on. We're going to collect up his gun as well, and we're going to leave his gun in the middle of the floor here. Now I dropped the gun and the guard doesn't spot it, nor does our target. So we are going to have to improvise, and that should have been my first warning sign that things are going to not go according to plan today. So once everything is set up, we're going to retrieve our propane cylinder, and all we have to do now is await the return of our target. Now what should happen is when he comes into the room, he will spot the gun and he will tell his guard to remove it, who promptly does, leaving the target alone with us. But as you can see, both gentlemen have entered the room and taken up station, and neither have spotted the gun. So improvise time. I'm gonna go and make sure firstly the gun hasn't fallen through the floor, which it hasn't. So my next plan will be to pick up the gun and then drop it again directly in line of sight of one of these two. You will do, you are the guard I want to be rid of. So drop the gun, pick up the propane cylinder, move away, and that has managed to achieve our goal. The guard is now picking up the gun. He will take it out of the room, leaving us alone with the target. So all we have to do now is wait for a safe distance between us and the guard. We're going to line up our shot with the target. We're going to throw our propane cylinder at his head. Then we're going to open the secret passage to the bedroom area whilst selecting our silenced pistol. So we've got our escape route nice and planned. and then all we have to do is take 2 shots at our propane cylinder.
Target down. It's not over yet, 47. One more to go.
So, one target taken care of. We're now going to retrace our steps back the way we came, again being aware of the patrolling enforcer in the stairwell section. We're just going to follow him around at a discreet distance until we can get to the stairs to the ground floor, at which point we can start speeding up again and make our way back down towards the kitchens. Now, unfortunately, this is where things go horribly wrong for me. So we're going to make our way to the kitchens and locate our target either in the kitchen or the dining room.
That is Jack Rowe, aka Jakob Rowe, celebrity chef who has cashed in on the Nordic cuisine bandwagon and has succeeded. His recipes might be bold, but he is a charlatan, if there ever was one.
So the chef should be coming out of the dining room at any point and heading towards the kitchens. We're going to take a shot at our propane cylinder, and about 2 minutes later I realized the target should have passed by now, and it appears that he hasn't moved. He may very well be broken, and we can't start again as we've already eliminated our first target. So after a few minutes of exploration, we have come up with an impromptu plan to take the mountain to Mohammed. If he will not come to us, we will go to him. So we're going to grab the propane cylinder, make our way into the dining room, just around to the rear of the piano there, and we're going to throw our propane cylinder at the feet of our non-moving target. So that was a terrible throw. Let's try that again, shall we? This time let's not have the propane cylinder bounce back towards us. So we're just going to let the target go back to his spot there. For some reason he's not doing anything. He seems to be waiting for the Carlisle family member who isn't inclined to come back to the dinner table. So once we have our propane cylinder just over by the leg of the table there, we can just wait for our target to go back into his broken position, and when he does, we're gonna blow him up and then duck out the window behind us. Now unfortunately, because of the improvisation, we were spotted, so we have lost our silent assassin rating. But if everything goes well for you, you will be blowing up the target in the corridor where there is no one around. So unfortunately, we lost our silent assassin rating due to a glitch in that last level, but overall a pretty decent arcade this one. I quite enjoyed it. I have been Anubis, and I will see you all in the next video.